said earlier, the difference between us is our ability to look into our realities and see it as an existing problem. That is the problem. That is the only problem we have. The moment we can tune our mindset to be able to empathize with people, one of the things that Nigerian economy and the Nigerian dilemma has caused us individuals is that we've lost empathy. We've lost love for ourselves as blacks. We've lost a lot of things that resonate with us, that we find as strengths, individual strengths, for us blacks. We've lost all that empathy, hidden under corruption, hidden under government is bad, hidden under a lot of things, right? And then we now look at ourselves and do ourselves bad. Why? Because we're chasing the same thing, which is what? Money. But money in itself is a spirit. Money doesn't look for those who look for it. Money look for those who look for values. And the money attracts value. When you are offering value, money attracts you. But the problem with value as well is that value is relative. Offering value as a host is different from offering value as a solution bringer. They're different things, right? Now, if I'm a solution bringer, I don't just go to work to earn my salary. Why? It has been bargained. But the ones that are different, or the ones that speaks to much more, is your ability to question what is present now. I'm already earning my salary. It's no longer a milestone. It's no longer a milestone. I'm going to end that for the next 4 years if I don't do anything to myself. But what speaks to me developing and growing is my ability to look into myself and say, buyer, this money you are earning now would not be able to, take you far. What do you need to do? Now, the money is there already. Channel that money into something more that builds you up, gives you so much value that you can use to resonate in the global space.
Okay, if you just joined us, our conversation today is generating ideas, and I'm speaking with Bayo Oke. And of course, we've been talking about how to generate ideas. And one of the things that resonates with Bayo, and of course with me as well on the show this morning, is for you to generate ideas, start getting your head into design thinking. And the first step there is identify the problem. The second one is have empathy. Now, a lot of people would say they don't really understand what design thinking is. And I think, from what I know, design thinking is you thinking about crafting solutions, and then putting all of that, designing a system, designing maybe an app, designing, I don't know, what is it, a product, a service, something that just helps bring solution to problems. Now, is there any other thing under design thinking before we move on?
Yes.
All right, please.
So in design thinking, so I've mentioned identifying the problems, I've mentioned empathy, then this is now, so the next point is the ideate point. If you've identified the problem based on, the problems I feel, so in empathy, we have different steps as well. In empathy, there's how do they think? How do they feel? What are they saying?
What do they need?
You can add that. What do they need, right? I mean, so when I know what they are saying, what are they currently saying about the thing? Like, what is currently, Nigeria? What we are saying now is that the government is bad. That's what we're saying. How do we feel terrible? Why? Because we're not able to achieve our full potentials. Why? Because there's no basic need that is being, given to us, right? And what do we feel? Right? Okay, I've said what do we feel? What do we say? What do we think? We think that if care is not taken, there will be a civil war. We think that this is ideation. So this is what people will think. Okay, I can say, what do people think? People think that if care is not taken, with time, we'll lose Nigeria. You have to bring everything to bear. Everything. Because when you bring all that to bear, the next step, which is ideating, will solve that problem. So when people think that there's going to be something like a war, what is going to be the ideation model to counter that? What can we do to make sure that is not working?
What's involved in ideation?
Ideation is brainstorming.
So, okay. So ideation is brainstorming, just brainstorming.
Yes.
So let's take that outside of social, political conversations.
Okay.
Let's bring it down to maybe developing a health product. So we have identified that people maybe people in their 70s, they
Okay.
don't sleep well.
Okay, great.
That's a problem.
Okay.
They just find it difficult to sleep.
Okay.
Now, so we are trying to empathize.
Yeah.
What is going on? What happens when you
What
don't
they
sleep?
feel.
How do you feel?
What do you say?
have
What
a
are you saying?
headache? What are you, and all of that. So, at ideation level, are you saying what we need to start thinking about is, okay, should we give them pills, or should we give them maybe a better environment?
Okay.
Is that what ideation is, or is it more than that?
So you said, should we give them pills? So pills is what is being given already.
Okay.
Right? So they're being given drugs, right? And they're probably going to see a doctor. That's what's happening now.
Okay.
They're going to see a doctor. They've been given pills. Probably maybe they've seen a sleep doctor, right? And then, and we feel like the problem is still persistent, right? Now, the first thing you need to understand that, first of all, seeing a doctor, seeing a sleep doctor, giving pills, all that are, first of all, ideation processes that has been implemented to this problem, right? And then we still feel like this problem still exists.
Persist, yes.
Right? Now, but so we need to now go back, go deep into what is the effect of the seeing the sleep doctor? What is the effect of the pills? What is the effect of everything that is currently in existence? Now, when we get the effect of it, the effects will be new problems. Because the effect of seeing, I'm going to see a doctor. There should be an effect. The effect should be that, okay, it's not that I'm no longer sleeping now, but I'm sleeping with rashes, with scratching body, right? Because seeing a doctor is a solution, right? But there's an effect to seeing a doctor that is not, it's not answering the problem. It's not, bringing solution to the problem, to solve the problem. It's solving probably half of the problem, but it's not solving it in full. Now, the effect of the ideation processes previously in healthcare, we'll call it clerking. So before a doctor will see you or prescribe any drug to you, he's going to ask for clinical histories.
Yes.
Right now, the clinical histories gives him
a better perspective.
It gives him, differentials that can now do tests to be able to identify, come up with that particular prognosis or diagnosis, as it were.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
All right, so let's move very quickly to businesses now.
Okay.
It's easy for some people would say, oh, I want to increase my income. They come up with a business idea, and they just find that they keep struggling at the level of idea because, well, they really can't scale it up. So how, if someone walks up to you and says, I have this idea, I want to start for a business, how do you help this person to move from ideation to execution?
Okay, first things first, we need to first of all know the idea. Right? What's the idea? Tell me everything about the idea. What you know about the idea, because what makes a lot of business flourish is the fact that they have key players and the key stakeholders in the business that have been equipped and trained to handle a business. Right now, it's different from you, that someone that wants to just start something small. Right now, so starting something small can be very, very tricky, right? So we need to know what is the business, right? And after that, what are the resources you have available now?
Okay.
We cannot underestimate the power of resources. And when I mean resources, financial resources, human resources, a lot of resources that we need to identify, because there are some businesses that will not thrive without resources. Like, I want to create a tech solution. If I don't have money, financial resources, if I don't have human resources that will replace money. So for instance, now I want to pay a developer. If I have a developer friend, or I have a UI UX friend, or I have a product manager friend, it's easier for me to create that solution because I can tie equity with the person, right? So that has replaced financial resources, right? But we need to understand that there are a lot. So we need to understand the resources point of view that you have, and then when we're able to identify that, we know how to come in for you. So are we bringing investors? If we're bringing investors, what are we giving equity? How are we replacing these resources? And it is always usually tied to what's the sustainability model of the business. Will it be sustainable? Because if it is not going to be sustainable, well, then we have to take it slowly and make it grow organically.
I would like to continue, but I have to let you go. But just before I let you go, I'd like for you to separate the difference or the similarity between innovation and invention.
Okay, so invention is your ability to create something entirely new. Right? Entirely new. And you will not really find that so much now. Because a lot of ideas are out there.
Okay.
You'll be so shocked right now. Think on top of your head, a business name. I'll Google that business name and I'll find it on the internet.
Okay. So how about innovation?
Innovation is your ability to look into an invention and create something that is either similar or something that is unique. Right, a unique business or unique idea in the same space. Like for instance, can we have a TV that will clap and then it goes off, or it shows high impact TV?
Thank you so much for having this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that conversation about generating ideas, especially when in this world where ideas are just flying everywhere, it's easy to grab one idea, but it's easier if you know what you're doing with the idea.